Rusty Pavilion on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's for a top 5 matchup in New Jersey hoops as the Rutgers Prep Argonauts take on the Gill St. Bernard's Knights. We welcome you to Rusty Pavilion here on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's in Peapack and Gladstone, New Jersey. Simon Rose here with you, and we welcome you into 2 basketball games. This first one, though, is one that is a matchup you've probably heard about if you're in the realm of paying attention to girls basketball, but these are 2 of the top 5 teams in New Jersey. Most recent NJ.com poll, this one's as of January 21st. Another one came out just today. So Gill St. Bernard's actually up to number 3 in the most recent poll. They're going to play Rutgers Prep here tonight. They're also going to play St. John Vianney on Sunday. So really tough part of the schedule for Gill St. Bernard's, but a very attractive matchup with the Knights and Argonauts going at it here. Rumson, Fairhaven, and Manaskin also in the top 5. East Orange dropping out after a loss. These 2 teams obviously know each other very well, also playing in the Skyland Conference as we look at the standings there. Rutgers Prep on top, 6-0. Gill St. Bernard's at 5-1. If they can come out with a win here this evening, then they will tie Rutgers Prep up at the top of those standings. But if they do win here this evening, it would be the first loss suffered by Rutgers Prep and Mary Klinger's squad, who we'll talk plenty about them throughout the broadcast. Mary Klinger, in her 32nd year, said that this might be the most talented Rutgers Prep ladies team that she has had in her tenure as the head coach. Speaking of coaches, let's take a look at our coaches' corner, and we're going to feature the other coach. This is for the boys' game. Aaron Gratch is the head coach of the ladies. It's his second stint with Gill St. Bernard's, 64 and 13 overall record with Gill St. Bernard, so his 3rd season as the head coach. He did win the state championship in 2011-2012, coaching with Gill St. Bernard's. Got his MBA from Seton Hall University, his undergrad from Caldwell College. There you see the 2 coaches there, 2 coaches that know each other very well. And when you've got 2 programs with the success that Coach Gratch and Coach Klinger's programs have had, you tend to meet up even a little bit more and become more familiar with the opponent programs. A lot of respect for those 2 squads. These are some of the recent matchups. You see the last few years that Gill St. Bernard's and Rutgers Prep have matched up. They did match up this year earlier on in 2016, January 7th. There was a 53-38 win for Rutgers Prep. According to Coach Gratch, that was a little bit closer than that 15-point deficit would tell you for Gill St. Bernard's. Rutgers Prep so winning the last 4 matchups. Gill St. Bernard's the last knocking off the Argonauts on February 22nd of 2014. Let's take a look at our Strive Spotlight. And today we are going to spotlight Lauren McBride of Gill St. Bernard's, the 6-foot senior. It's going to have a much bigger role here in this game with Alexia Alesh. You could argue their most impact player for the Knights not going to be playing here this evening as she is nursing an injury. Nothing serious, but serious enough to keep her out and rest her up for some of the big games to come. So Lauren McBride, with the absence of Alexia Alesh, is going to have a much bigger presence in the post. She does average 6 rebounds per game, 11 points per game, 2 steals, and 1.7 blocks. She fills up the stat sheet. Phenomenal player is Lauren McBride. Now let's take a look at some of her teammates as well. The starters for Gill St. Bernard's: Sam Kramer, Lauren McBride, Maddie Gallick, Kennedy Whitehead, and Allison Coffey. We'll also see plenty of Nisani Santiago. But again, that loss of Alexia Alesh, averaging 16 points per game. She's the dominant paint force for head coach Aaron Gratch. She is not going to be in the lineup here today, so the Knights are going to have to rely on maybe not some of their top options to knock off the Argonauts here today, but you've got some incredible talent. Sam Kramer at the point guard runs the show. On the other side, let's take a look at that Rutgers Prep ladies starting lineup. Justini Knights, Nikki Metzel, Gabby Redden, Madison Stanley, and Casey Whitty under head coach Mary Klinger, again in her 32nd year. She just picked up Win 500 a few games ago. You see that picture of Coach Klinger picking up Win 500. So they're going to pause here to announce the starters, sing the national anthem to the crowd. We will pause as well. When we come back, it is a phenomenal top 5 New Jersey matchup between the Rutgers Prep Argonauts and the Gill St. Bernard's Knights. Stay with us.
Now for the starting lineups. First, for the Rutgers Prep Argonauts. At guard, number 11. At guard, number 2, Olivia Dabney. At point guard, number 10, Justini Knight. At forward, number 23, Nikki Metzel. At center, number 25, Gabby Redden. At forward, number 33, Madison Stanley. The Argonauts are coached by Mary Klinger, assisted by Brian Muller and Tim Ortelli. And now, get on your feet for your starting Gill St. Bernard's Knights. She's a junior, guard, number 3, Allison Coffey. At forward, a senior, number 22, Lauren McBride. Wearing number 35, a senior guard, Maddie Gallick. A forward, senior, number 32, Kennedy Whitehead. At guard, a senior, number 2, Samantha Kramer. The Knights are coached by Aaron Gratch, assisted by Ashton Dwyer and Richard Starling. Man in charge of the big board, Mr. Chris Walsh. Tonight's officials are Jim Boylan, Kristen Piscadlo, and Jack Bond. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go Knights!
All right, back here at Aresti Pavilion for the start of this game, a top 5 matchup. Gill St. Bernard's number 3 in the most recent NJ.com top 20 poll. Rutgers Prep has been steady at number 2 all season long. In fact, the Argonauts were just featured in the top 25 poll nationally from Max Preps. They are number 24 in the top 25 poll. Also another New Jersey team in there at St. John Vianney. But a big-time matchup here, probably the most attractive one of the day in girls or guys here in the state of New Jersey, and we are lucky here on the Strive Network to be a part of it. Simon Rose here with you, Tom Posse, our director, Lance Glynn, our producer, and we are ready to rock. Lauren McBride and Nikki Metzel at center courts. Here we go. And a missed jump ball. In fact, you see walking off the floor Kennedy Whitehead. She's got a brace on her knee. And since it's senior night, she gets the start. And in steps for her, Nisani Santiago. So now we are off and running after Rutgers Prep wins the tip. Here in their road black jerseys with black shorts as well. The Knights in the whites. In the post now in the corner as this one is knocked away, and Gill St. Bernard's comes away with a steal. Maddie Gallick gives off to the phenomenal freshman Nisani Santiago. Santiago, again, just a freshman, 5'4". Coach Gratch has loved the way that she has progressed throughout the season. She was an impact player in the first game of Gill St. Bernard's season when we saw them against Watchung Hills. We're excited to see her play tonight. This is Lauren McBride with a powerful move off the glass and good. Lauren McBride, we mentioned she's got to step up here in the absence of Alexia Alesh. And a good start for the 6-foot senior. Rutgers Prep looking to get on the board as Stanley kicked out. It was a 3 off the arms of Justini Knight. Wouldn't go. This is Gallick the other way for GSB. McBride will give to Sam Kramer. Kramer plays catch with Santiago. Back again for number 2, Sam Kramer. Also a senior for Coach Aaron Gratch. Santiago finds herself open for 3. That one just off the mark. The rebound to Rutgers Prep. As they get up to Nikki Metzel, swings it over. Now an open 3 in the corner. Rimmed out for Madison Stanley. 2 minutes in, Rutgers Prep still off the board. This is McBride off the feed from Gallick, and our first jump ball of the game. Now Gill St. Bernard's traditionally, well, maybe not traditionally, but certainly during Aaron Gratch's tenure and this season in particular, really do like to play with a high tempo, and that's going to be especially true today with their biggest half-court presence out. That was a 3 from Sam Kramer, and a heck of a start for the home team as they lead by 5. Kramer with the 3, McBride with 2, 5-0, the early lead for Gill St. Bernard's. We mentioned in the pregame show, but we're going to take a look back at that graphic as to the fact that these two teams have played each other a number of times in recent years, including this year, where Rutgers Prep won 53-38 at home against Gill St. Bernard's back on January 7th. They played in the playoffs last year. Rutgers Prep with a dominating performance there, 72-44. The Gill St. Bernard's last win back in 2014. Back to the action here with Mary Klinger calling the timeout in her 32nd year. Argonauts looking to get on the board. The team in black plays to the post. It's Nikki Metzel. Oh, what a play there by Allison Coffey. has picked the pocket of the Argonaut. And the Knights have it again here in the half court. Nisani Santiago will take a screen from Lauren McBride. Coffey in the corner. Turns it over, looking for Santiago. Again, Gill St. Bernard's looking to push the pace. They're going to try to speed Rutgers Prep up. The Argonauts have the advantage in their half-court offense with Alexia Alesh out, so they want to try to speed the tempo as much as they can. Sam Kramer called for the foul and one there. Rutgers Prep on the board, a chance for one more for Gabby Redden. We take another look on the replay here. Nice slip down low. And Kramer, I think, and maybe in her mind, was deciding whether to foul or not. And she did foul. Unfortunately, she didn't do enough to prevent the basket, but it was missed on the free throw. So 5-2, 3 minutes into the game. Lauren McBride will step into the mid-range jumper and drill it. Lauren McBride with 4 early points. It's a 7-2 Knights lead. This is Jacini Knight. Now Metzel. Back to Olivia Dabney on right wing. Open Metzel off the glass and good. Easy enough for her. First points for Nikki Metzel, and Rutgers Prep comes away with another steal. This mid-range jumper wouldn't go. A rebound for Redden, and she put it up another and one, her second in about 30 seconds. Redden looking to feast with the absence of Alesh. She averages 8 points per game. As she does convert this three-point play. 5 points now for Gabby Redden. Rutgers Prep with some pressure here in the backcourt. They're going to challenge the ball handlers. Knights break through nicely. Here's Sam Kramer, who will set up the offense. Tied at 1 touchdown apiece, a 5-0 run for Rutgers Prep. Feeding McBride. Tough shot off the glass, it wouldn't go. A pesky move there by Coffey leads to an open Santiago three. Coffey finds the board again, and the little one, 5'4", all over the place here. This is the first foul of the game against Rutgers Prep. It's going to go on the floor against Madison Stanley. Gallick looks for someone. McBride. Guarded by Kiara Tibbett. McBride will try to take Tibbett, and going to call a traveling violation on McBride. She got tangled up with Tibbett as she lost her footing. Kind of brought McBride down, but they called it a traveling violation instead of the foul. So another turnover in the books against Gill St. Bernard's. 3:22 to go here in the first quarter. Here's Metzel. Gives to Stanley. Dabney all the way in. Olivia Dabney averaging 8 points per game. That's her first 2, and it's the first lead of the game for the Argonauts. Kramer coast to coast, and she put it up too strong. A foul on the floor against Santiago. As entering the paint was Jacini Knight. So here's Knight again. A tap pass over to the corner for three. No good from Stanley. Long rebound by Coffey. That might be her third rebound already in this game for perhaps the shortest player on the floor. And a traveling violation or a turnover of some sort against GSB. So they started strong, scoring the game's first 5 points. Since then, it's been 7 of 9 for the Argonauts. This is Metzel. And now Tibbett back out to Jocini Knight, leading the team in steals and assists. Rutgers Prep perhaps playing the strongest basketball in the entire state. They're on a roll, the team that's 15-0, and now ranked nationally in the top 25. Jocini Knight with her first two. And this is going to be a foul on the floor against the Argonauts. That's going to be their second. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Sam Kramer will throw it in here. Both teams with full court pressure to speed the tempo up. Well done by Coach Gratch's Knights to break out of the press. This is Coffey. No good, and Gabby Redden secures the board. Just saw it flash across your screen, but a 9-0 run currently by Rutgers Prep. McBride with some good footwork. She comes away with the steal and unleashes Kramer for a deuce. The steal and the assist to Lauren McBride. Sam Kramer's now got 5. And GSB breaks the 9-0 run. It's going to be another turnover as McBride will let this one roll out. About a minute to go. We've got some substitutions as Emma Dean will check into the game for GSB, and Allison Coffey with some good energy to start in the absence of Alexia Lesh. Will take a seat. Here's Emma Dean, Santiago now. Dean wide open, and that's a two-pointer. She had a foot on the line. But now a 4-0 run for GSB. Dean off the bench and immediately making an impact. We are tied at all ones on the scoreboard. Metzel, a free throw. Nikki Metzel, the 6'2 forward, committed to Drexel next year, where she'll be a Dragon. She's the only senior in the starting lineup for head coach Mary Klinger. No shot clock here, so GSB could hold for one if they so choose. 15 seconds to go. This is Sam Kramer. Kramer guarded by Stanley. Sam Kramer for Santiago. The three is way short. And the clock stopped before the whistle. That should have been a buzzer sound, and the referees, I think, are going to agree with me after this. Quarter's over. That's what they say. So at the end of one, 13-11. It's Rutgers Prep with the lead over GSB. Start of the second quarter here at Aresti Pavilion at Gill St. Bernard's, Peapack and Gladstone, New Jersey. Simon Rose with you here on the Strive Network. First of two basketball games coming for you. We'll see the men do battle after this. As we await a wet spot off the floor to be wiped down before the start of the second quarter, Rutgers Prep will take it out here on the near sideline. Metzel. Pump fake by Gabby Redden. Trying to force it into the paint, and then Sam Kramer just gave it right to Metzel without even looking, and then GSB turns it over again. Sloppy play there by the Knights to start the second quarter. Kramer's used to dishing out the assists, but to her own teammates, not to others. Those kinds of mistakes not going to sit well with Coach Gratch. But anyway, just a 4-point game, 15-11, nearing a minute gone by here in the second quarter. That's going to be a foul as Nikki Metzel entered the lane. Foul, I believe, on Lauren McBride. We'll take a look here. They're on McBride or Gallick. Metzel knocks it down. 7 points now for Nikki Metzel. 12 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 6'2" frame. Places her at a forward position here in high school, but she's got the potential and the ability to play all over the floor. She's a good shooter as well from the outside. Santiago swings, it's Kramer. Knights down by 6. Gallick thinking about the three. Now it's McBride. This is Nyla Mulcahy, and now Santiago again at the top. Screen from McBride. Santiago didn't like what she saw. Will kick it back out to Lauren McBride. She was blocked at the top. Somehow got it back and put in 2. 6 points for Lauren McBride. Averaging 11. Did have 13 points in that game against Rutgers Prep last time out, did Lauren McBride, but she only had 1 rebound. At least that was listed in the box score. This is Metzel, who's forced almost out of bounds. Metzel finds it back, hands off to Knights. Jacini Knights, class of 2018. Swings to Dabney. GSB with some tough D in the interior so far. Redden kicks it out, top of the key, 3-pointer, no good from Dabney. And a stop by GSB. Mulcahy bringing up the ball. Kramer and Santiago calling for it, open for 3, no good. Dabney. And now Metzel, a few inches to shoot. She'll feed the post. And Gabby Redden had position. She drew a foul. GSB so much smaller on the interior. This is going to be an issue all night long. You see the big body of Gabby Redden having her way. And you know, Rutgers Prep is going to try to take advantage of that easy inbound play. Nikki Metzel. Already 10 points. So more than half of Rutgers Prep points for Metzel, and that 3 way off the mark. Rebound for Allison Coffey back into the game. Kramer back to Coffey. McBride fighting in the post, looking for some position. She comes up and gives a high screen. It's Kramer, who thought she may have drew a foul. No call though, whistle silent. Rutgers Prep with numbers the other way. It's a jump shot, no good from Stanley. Here is Kramer running the break. Sam Kramer trying to force it into Santiago. And to the Argonauts' credit, they got back well to defend. Stanley checks out of the game. Stepping in is Kiara Tibbett. Kramer. McBride with a beautiful pump fake, and then she drew contact. She went right at the defender and took a fairly hard fall, but she'll get up. She's tough. She's a basketball player. And Lauren McBride to the line for 2 free throws. And this is the first. Since the Rutgers Prep loss on January 7th, Gill St. Bernard's also lost to the Baldwin School in New York, 54-40. But currently they're on a 3-game win streak, including a game over number 3 Manaskin. In fact, we'll look at that schedule and results for GSB. They beat Ridge, they beat Phillipsburg, and they also beat Manaskin, not listed on that graphic. And upcoming, they've got a tough matchup with St. John Vianney on January 31st. Talk about a tough few days on your schedule. Just 3 days after you play the number 2 team in the state and the number 24 team nationally, you're going to play the number 1 team in the state and the number 20 team nationally in St. John Vianney. But the strength of schedule is something that Coach Gratch and the athletic department you have to take into account, because in the state tournament, the power points come into play. So you get points not only for the wins that you accumulate on your schedule, but for the wins that your opponents accumulate on their schedule. So that being said, when you play stronger teams, more wins leads to more power points. That's what leads to the state tournament seeding. So all that comes into play. It's a confusing scenario, confusing process for seeding, but it's one that works. Getting in there off the break is Gabby Redden. She's got 7. And it's a 7-point lead for Rutgers Prep. Just about 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. This is McBride with an acrobatic play, and it went off of her leg out of bounds. The Knights just pleading for any whistle to bail them out and put them at the free throw line. Just no fouls being called, though. Under the hope, most of the fouls on Rutgers Prep, they've committed 3, have been on the floor, with the exception of the one that sent Lauren McBride to the free throw line. Substitution now for Rutgers Prep. Olivia Dabney back in, as well as Kiara Tibbett. Dabney gives tonight. McBride comes away with the steal. And Nyla Mulcahy will bring the ball up, and an ill-advised pass as she commits the foul on the floor. GSB turning the ball over at an unwanted pace. Mulcahy will take a seat, and Emma Dean comes back into the game. Jacini Knights. Kiara Tibbett trying to feed Metzel, who did really well to keep possession there. Olivia Dabney now. High post, it's Tibbett. Good defense there by Emma Dean on the first opportunity, but not the second. That size advantage for Rutgers Prep coming into play once again, and a nice job by Kiara Tibbett to stay with it. She is the 5th Rutgers Prep Argonaut to score here. And she cannot complete the 3-point play. (23-14). Largest lead of the game for Rutgers Prep at 9. Kramer. Back to Santiago. Quick trigger for Sam Kramer, bullseye. second three ball for Kramer. And she's got 8 points. That leads her team. Trying to answer is Olivia Dabney. It's going to be GSB ball after the missed three. Maddie Gallick comes back in. Allison Coffey takes a seat. McBride feeding Gallick, who missed the easy bunny. Oh, Santiago with some great hands. Ultimately, Rutgers Prep able to retain here. So now it's Olivia Dabney going behind her back with the dribble. In the post now. Double teamed well by GSB, and Emma Dean makes a nice play. Finds Santiago, who will pull up and hit. How about GSB with a nice little run? They bring it to within 4. 5 straight for the Knights. First 2 points for Santiago, the freshman, who's averaging 8.5 per game. We got free throws here for Rutgers Prep. Shooting will be Olivia Dabney. Dabney has some great basketball lineage in her family. In fact, her stepsister might be, when all said and done, one of the best women's basketball players of all time. That's Maya Moore, Olivia Dabney's stepsister, as Rutgers Prep will have it after the miss by Sam Kramer in the paint. Coach Klinger said of Dabney, just a great kid, great smile, great teammate, and a girl you want to have on your team. She's got the ball here. Nikki Metzel at the top, guarded by Lauren McBride. Hands continue to stay active. Nisani Santiago almost came away with a steal. She's doing the guarding of Knight. GSB doing a nice job here defensively. Wow, Santiago picking the pocket, and now in transition. How is that not a foul? Nothing called. And it looked like Knight was all over Santiago, but the whistles remain silent again. Still only 3 team fouls for Rutgers Prep, 8 team fouls against GSB. The Knights will retain possession here as Maddie Gallick will throw it in. 1:02 to go here in the second quarter. Kramer. And now Santiago. Phenomenal ball handler in Santiago, crossing up the junior and Justini Knight. Back to the senior and Sam Kramer. A Fairfield University commit. Kramer, no good. McBride working hard underneath, and then she could not finish from just under the basket. Aaron Gratch not happy, looking for a foul call. Metzel hesitating, and now attacking and getting the roll. Nikki Metzel has had herself a half. Emma Dean slipping it to McBride. Foot on the line, McBride takes the jump shot, no good. Emma Dean tracking it down. Good hustle, under 10 seconds to go in the half. Thrown up by Santiago. McBride caught it in stride, and she missed as well. So, after one half of play, the Alexia Aleschlis GSB Knights trail the Rutgers Prep Argonauts 26-19. Good effort from both squads. I think GSB's got to be pretty happy for being in this game, considering the turnover numbers that have piled up. But we're going to take a break. We'll leave you with some of the cheerleaders here at half court. And stick with us. We'll come back for the third quarter.
so it's all like all the
All right, back we come here to Aresti Pavilion at Gill St. Bernard's, where a top 5 matchup is upon us in New Jersey high school basketball. The Rutgers Prep Argonauts at 15-0 this year lead the 12-2 Gill St. Bernard's Knights 26-19 as we begin the third quarter. Simon Rose here with you. Let's recap what we saw so far. After first quarter of play, it was 15-11. The Rutgers Prep leading. It was a hot start for GSB, scoring the game's first 5 points, but then the Knights got their feet under them, and it's 26-19 here Leading Rutgers Prep, Nikki Metzel, she's got 12. Gabby Redden has 7 points, all coming in the paint. And for Gill St. Bernard's, it's been the Sam Kramer and Lauren McBride show. 8 points for Kramer, 7 for McBride, 2 for Emma Dean and Nasani Santiago, who draws a foul to start here. This is against Jacini Knight. There were only 3 team fouls called against Rutgers Prep in that first half. And they pick one up in the first 4 seconds here, as Maddie Gallick finds Sam Kramer in play. Kramer, guarded by the much taller Madison Stanley. Stanley doing well, and she got the block. Oh, great hustle there by Allison Coffey as she hit the deck here on the near side. Almost saved it. You gotta appreciate the effort from Allison Coffey. That's kind of been her MO. What she doesn't have in size, only 5'5", and that might be a generous 5'5". She certainly makes up for an effort on the floor as this one goes through her legs. It's going to be GSB ball, another turnover against Rutgers Prep. And they will, what looks to remain in their full court man-to-man. As Santiago slipped, tough break for the Knights. And Rutgers Prep will have it. The Knights just a little bit off in terms of passing their ball and getting their offense going. Remember, without the services of their leading scorer and biggest post presence, Alexia Alesh. Here's Nikki Metzel, again scoring 12 in the first quarter of the Argonauts' 26. Metzel feeding Redden, trying to have her way on McBride, who commits the foul. And 2 free throws coming here for Gabby Redden, who was 1 of 2 from the stripe in the first half. Let's get another look here. Lauren McBride committing the foul. First free throw is missed by Redden. Last year, Rutgers Prep, they were 22-6. Won the Somerset County tournament. Lost in the Prep B semifinals to St. Rose. 1 of 2 for Gabby Redden. It's 27-19 as Metzel nearly comes away with a steal. Instead, it's McBride to the cup. And she flips it in for 2. 9 on the game for McBride. She now leads her team. The Sam Kramer's 8. And GSB once again within 6. Stanley probing, feeding Redden. And they do call a foul on the floor, I believe, against Maddie Gallick. Get it in play to Metzel. Olivia Dabney finding Nikki Metzel. Thinking about the 3, instead giving it to Redden, who's got a mismatch in the post. She pulls over Sam Kramer. Check that, that was Allison Coffey, and has her way. Out of bounds it comes. It'll stay with GSB. Right in front of our broadcast booth here in Oresti Pavilion. Here's Sam Kramer in the corner, giving to Santiago. One of the most dynamic backcourts in Kramer and Santiago that the state has to offer. Here's Nasani giving to Kramer. And now McBride guarded by Metzel. Will have the 3. It's too long. Coffey couldn't win the board. Instead, it's Olivia Dabney of the Argonauts. Stanley, and now Redden. Beautiful feed, and a great cut there by Metzel. And the timeout is called by Aaron Gratch as Rutgers Prep extends their lead to the largest of the game. Let's move over and take a look at the Rutgers Prep sideline and highlight Mary Klinger, who just picked up her 500th win. There you see the picture of her picking up her 500th win just a few games ago. So she's now 505 in 228 in her career as the Rutgers Prep head coach. She actually played at Rutgers University and was a 4-year starter there. She's actually in the Rutgers University Hall of Fame as a player. They were 110 and 20 while she played for Rutgers. 10 Prep State Championships, 4 Somerset County titles. And not only does she coach this Rutgers Prep team, but Mary Klinger also a part of the McDonald's All-American East team in 2012 and also USA Basketball. She coached the under-16 and under-17 teams, winning the FIBA North American Championship and winning gold in the World Championship in the Czech Republic. So an incredible resume for Mary Klinger, whose squad comes away with a steal here. Olivia Dabney missing, and it'll be GSB ball. And not only is she the coach, and a phenomenal coach at that, she's also the athletic director over at Rutgers Prep. Santiago, mid-range jumper, no hesitation for her. And Santiago scores for her second bucket of the game. She's got 4. Season high 16 for Santiago, and career high for that matter for the freshman. Redden again trying to have her way, and ball just not bouncing the way of GSB. McBride made a nice defensive play, but it went right to Stanley, and a timeout called by Aaron Gratchwell, one of his players, as they were forced to, since they could not get the ball and bounce with the press. So we have gone through the spotlight in the pregame show. We're going to see another Strive spotlight since it is senior night. We're going to highlight all the seniors here. Take a look at Sam Kramer in our Strive spotlight. 5'7" senior, going to play at Fairfield University. Phenomenal athlete. Is number 2 for the Knights. 12 points per game, 5 assists per game, 2 steals, 3 rebounds. Also, Kennedy Whitehead, also playing softball. She started the game, and she's got a brace on her knee, so she's too injured to play, but certainly worthy of a spotlight here on senior night. Playing on the softball team as well. As the Knights look to get something going, down by 10. This is Kramer guarded by Metzel. Ill-advised pass, but Allison Coffey is there, and it leads to Maddie Gallick, wide open for 3. And it wouldn't go. This is Kramer forcing a bad pass, and Coffey stepping in the lane. And another possession here for GSB. 2 tough defenses. A lot of good athletes on the defensive side of the basketball, leading to a lot of turnovers. This is Santiago now swinging to Gallick. And Allison Coffey throwing it up there, trying to have her way. Allison Coffey has played a nice game here. Season high 9 points. She hasn't scored in this game yet. As she goes to the line, she'll have 2 free throws. No fear in Allison Coffey as she drills the first. Also plays on the lacrosse team for GSB on that beautiful turf field. They're on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's. 2 free throws good for the junior. And we're back down to an 8-point game. Jostini Knight to Metzel. Now Redden, open 3, Dabney, no. And Metzel was all alone for the rebound, and an easy putback for Nikki Metzel, who got her first 2 points of the half just there, and another turnover against GSB. Maddie Gallick's going to take a seat, and in steps Emma Dean. Here's Knight. Justini Knight with an athletic move, and she flips it over the rim. Only 4 points on this game for Justini Knight. Girl who averages 8. Oh, wow, what a play by Sam Kramer. She finds Emma Dean, who hits the mid-range jumper. Oh, beautifully done, a highlight reel play there. Sam Kramer with some nifty dribbling and the assist. Emma Dean's got 4 now. Lead remains at 10 here for Rutgers Prep with 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Metzel will take the jump shot off back iron. Santiago the rebound, and she looks to run. Now waits for reinforcements to arrive. Steps into the 3, does Santiago. No good. McBride is there off of her leg, out of bounds. Though good hustle by McBride in the paint. Nothing doing on that trip for GSB. Justini Knight getting by Coffey. Knight eyed up by Santiago. McBride got in there for the swipe away, and then it's going to lead to a foul against Rutgers Prep. Third team foul against the Argonauts. As Santiago does well to maintain possession. Here's Kramer. Oh, great find. It's McBride for 2. Kramer putting on a show. 11 points now for Lauren McBride. Tally another assist for Sam Kramer. Charge. We're going the other way as Rutgers Prep commits the foul. And the Knights with a nice little 4-0 run here. Bring it within 8. Give them a lot of credit. When it looks like the Argonauts are going to get on a run, it's the Knights who are able to stymie it and continue to stay competitive. You can only wonder what if Alexia Alesh was in the lineup here for GSB. Coach Gratch and company figuring that one game sacrificed here without Alesh in the lineup is okay if you have her healthy for the stretch run, which is upon us in the coming weeks as the teams get ready to battle for the county tournaments, the state tournaments, the prep tournaments. Santiago getting a lot of cheering on from her teammates as she guards Knight. This is Metzel in the post. It's another post point, this time for Kiara Tibbett, who has 4, and then another turnover leads to another bucket. Madison Stanley. So a quick 4 points there for Rutgers Prep, and they have another steal here. This Argonauts team just too tough. Another deuce for Stanley, and Aaron Gratch is forced to call another timeout with his team now down by 14 points. So we've seen 3 of our 4 Strive spotlights. We've got one more. It's Maddie Gallick. 5'9" senior for GSB. She may not fill up the stat sheet, but she is always present on the floor for Aaron Gratch, and a very needed presence for the Knights. 3 points per game, 1 assist per game, 1.5 steals per game, 2.8 rebounds per game. kind of does those things on the floor that don't always show up in the stat sheet. Maddie Gallick, another Strive spotlight. 35 seconds to go here. As it's Kramer with a nice crossover to get out of trouble for the moment. McBride now receives back from Dean and then hits the mid-range jumper. "13 points now for Lauren McBride. She's eclipsed her season average. Sam Kramer nearly coming away with a steal. Loose ball here, goes out of bounds, and it's going to be GSB basketball with 6 seconds to go. They've got to go the length of the floor. It's Mulcahy to throw it in. And she somehow finds Kramer, who was fouled. Not the intended target in Sam Kramer. I believe she was looking for Emma Dean, but Kramer tracked it down to her credit. And now with 5 seconds to go, the Knights will throw the ball in here on the near sideline in the half court. And it might be a little bit easier to get a shot here at the end of the third. Kramer gets in play to Mulcahy. Blocked out of bounds, still time on the clock, 2 seconds. It's Kramer. This time blocked by Stanley. Size advantage to Rutgers Prep, and they are making their presence known here in this one. Yet another block at the buzzer here in the third quarter. So after 3, 43-31, we head to the final frame with GSB down a dozen. We come here to Aresti Pavilion as we start the fourth quarter. GSB is going to have to overcome a 12-point lead. Rutgers Prep with the ball to start. The number 2 team in the States looking like it here on the road. Metzel for Stanley, and she hits a mid-range jumper. Madison Stanley with 4 quick points at the end of the third, and now a bucket at the beginning of the fourth. That's all 6 of her points in the frame coming in the last 3 minutes or so of gameplay. And here's Stanley again, right on cue, almost coming away with a steal. It will stay with GSB. Kramer here on right wing. All the way into the paint. It's a no-good bucket by Nyla Mulcahy among 3 Rutgers Prep defenders. Other side, it's Metzel posting up on McBride. We'll give it back out. Jacini Knights off to the right. McBride got a touch. Over to Santiago. Nisani for Lauren McBride running the floor. Beautiful hesitation and a deuce for Lauren. She's had a really nice game as Lauren McBride offensively and defensively. You can tell the effort that she's putting in, trying to make up for her fellow front court teammate and Alexia Alesh. McBride's got 15 points. And this is going to be an and one. It is Nikki Metzel to the line for one more. We take one more look here on the replay. I believe it was on Madison Gallick there who committed the foul, and if you're going to foul, you want to make sure that they don't get the shot up. Metzel, though, it's easier said than done when she's got the ball. Converts the three-point play. Metzel's got 17 points. Again, the senior committed to play at Drexel next year. (48-33), 15 points is the largest lead of the game for Rutgers Prep. Here's Sam Kramer, handing off to Lauren McBride. And Nisani Santiago. Lauren McBride guarded tightly by Metzel. Kramer looking to make something happen. She gives to Allison Coffey. Rutgers Prep very aggressive defensively, giving the Knights fits here in the half court. Lauren McBride was forced out of bounds by Nikki Metzel. She came off the ground looking for a foul called against Metzel. That was not the call. Instead, just out of bounds against McBride. A turnover. And Rutgers Prep with the ball here. Under 6 minutes to go. Simon Rose here with you on the Strive Network. Our director, Tom Posse. Our producer, Lance Glynn. As Gabby Redden could not finish. Nikki Metzel could. Santiago spinning off, finding Kramer for McBride, and that's going to be a foul against Gabby Redden. The Rutgers Prep faithful on the far side giving an earful to the referees. They don't care that their team is up by 17 points. They're still going to complain for each foul. You get another look, and a good look here on the replay. As McBride hits the first. Not the second. 16 points for Lauren McBride. 16 points is the lead for Rutgers Prep. Redden double teamed, and it leads to a turnover and a steal here. It's Allison Coffey. Argonauts doing well to get back on D. Kramer feeding McBride, and she slipped it through for the assist. The Stars still playing well for the Knights. Allison Coffey shifts over to defend, and it was Maddie Gallick who got the block on Knight. Dabney for Metzel did not get the roll. Gallick the rebound. And Kramer gallops ahead. McBride lines up the three, yes! Eight points in the quarter for Lauren McBride. And the Knights back down by 11. It remains that way after the missed three ball. This one comes out of bounds, and another ball that just does not bounce the Knights' way. It's a miscommunication between Sam Kramer and her teammate. Leads. And so the ball out of bounds, and Rutgers Prep will have it after this timeout. Since we have some time here, let's remind all of the GSB faithful and parents that there's some events coming up on February 1st, the primary and preschool curriculum coffee events, which will take place from 8:30 to 9:30 in the Cox Lower School. A chance to meet the school's preschool teachers and learn about the exciting programs they have in store for the students next year. February 5th, parent conferences. Reminder, there's no classes on February 5th closed for parent conferences. The Pick a Time website is open to schedule those conferences. You can see the Knights site for more information. And February 9th, an all-school tour. You can join them, join GSB for a tour of all 3 divisions on February 9th at 9 a.m. Our second time here on the campus of GSB. We saw the first game of the season for the girls and guys. And that guy, Aaron Gratch, in his first win of the season against Watchung Hills. As more wonderful ball movement by Rutgers Prep. It's a 2-point bucket for Kiara Tibbett and another turnover against GSB. Tibbett, by the way, has 6. And the Argonauts lead by 13. 3:44 to go. They get it in play to Jasani Knight. Metzel, the 6'2" forward, guarded by Emma Dean. Kind of pushed down, no foul called. And thrown up there by Dabney, no good. And then a foul as Gallick tried to turn up court. I believe it's going to go against Tibbett. And since Gill St. Bernard's is in the bonus, we will walk the floor all the way to the other end for a 1-and-1. Maddie Gallick will shoot. Gallick providing great senior leadership this year for head coach Aaron Gratch. Great defender, great rebounder. She earns herself another free throw. She's going to play at Haverford next year. Both of the buckets good. 52 to 40. 52 to 41, that is. Knight with a wonderful crossover, and then Metzel was open underneath. Metzel's got 21 in the game. Kramer for 3, got it! Sam Kramer, her third 3-ball and her first points of the second half, and the Knights down by 10. And Rutgers Prep with a traveling violation, turn it over. 11 points for Sam Kramer. Lauren McBride back into the game, relieving Allison Coffey. For all the turnovers and the good play by Rutgers Prep offensively, the fact that GSB is still very competitive in this game without the services of Alesh says a lot to all of the girls on the floor. It's been a good effort all the way around. This one will stay with GSB. As Gallick looks to throw in, finds Kramer, guarded by Metzel. Now driving baseline, finds an open McBride. No good, too short. And Stanley got the board. Justini Knight. Back up to Madison Stanley. Feeding the post and Metzel, and a host of Knights block. It's McBride who comes away from the pack. The Knights trying to hurry up here, down by 10. And now it looks like they'll slow up. They do want a chance to win the game. They need quick buckets. Santiago recognizes that. It may have been tipped by Stanley. And the 3-pointer no good. Timeout called here, it looks like, by Mary Klinger with 1:54 to go in the fourth quarter. Stick with us after this game for the guys edition of GSB versus Rutgers Prep. Also, don't forget that you can click that subscribe button on YouTube to subscribe to Strive, get some extra updates as to where we'll be and when our videos are made available. Also follow us on Twitter, Strive_network, our handle. $1:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. Josini Knight finds Stanley. McBride able to come away with a steal. It's Santiago up ahead. Kramer in the corner. Bumped by Knight. No call. Emma Dean, the mid-range jump shot, courtesy of Sam Kramer. Dean with her third jump shot from mid-range. She is dangerous from that spot. And the Knights within 8. Tibbett cannot have her way. Somehow gets the board back over Gallick. And Metzel will reset in no particular hurry as Kramer fouls Knights. That's going to be the 5th team foul against GSB. So still one more to give before Rutgers Prep is put in the bonus. We'll see if Coach Gratch does want to play the foul game here. Nonetheless, they're going to have to be aggressive and go for some steals. As McBride able to trap here on the far side, and Mary Klinger all but forced to call timeout. So, 1:16 to go here in the 4th quarter. You see Coach Klinger and Rutgers Prep looking to improve to 16-0 and 6-0 in the Skyland Raritan. In fact, let's take a look at those standings since we've got another chance to do so. The Skyland Raritan Conference, Rutgers Prep 6-0, 15-0 overall. GSB right behind at 5-1. But barring an 8-point comeback here in the last 1:16, it'll be a stranglehold on that #1 spot out of the Skyland Conference for Rutgers Prep. Here in this game, it was a fast start for GSB. 15-11 the score after 1, 26-19 the score at half. Rutgers Prep has remained on top since that early 7-2 lead by GSB. Worth noting once again that the Knights are without the services of their leading scorer and post player in Alexia Alesh. Under a minute to go, the Argonauts just playing keep away out of timeout. And the foul by Nisani Santiago, the last one to give for Aaron Gratch's Knights. Kramer and Santiago pestering in the backcourt. Knight does well to find open floor and an open teammate, and the Argonauts once again play keep away. Now we've got a foul. It's going to be Santiago who commits again, and Olivia Dabney back to the line, only scoring 3 points in this game. The junior who averages 8. Also the stepsister of Maya Moore, WNBA star and former UConn star. In fact, there was a great picture online that was around of Olivia Dabney hugging Maya Moore after UConn's national championship game. Another turnover here as Dabney again right on cue, comes away with a steal and then traveled. The lead is 10 for Rutgers Prep with 37 seconds to go. And the Argonauts not letting up defensively, continuing to make it very difficult for the Knights to throw in bounds here. Safely in play to Santiago. Almost lost it backcourt. Kramer. And now Emma Dean. Gallick wide open for 3, way short. 20 seconds to go, and this might be the last possession. Pending no foul here for GSB, but it does look like they're going to continue to pressure here and play to the final whistle. Josini Knight will spin out. Now Stanley, and this is going to do it. Rutgers Prep dominance in New Jersey continues. They improved to 16-0 on the season, and Mary Klinger picks up win number 506, and a quality one at that, over Gill St. Bernard's here on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's. Been a presentation of the Strive Network. My name's Simon Rose. Stick with us. Right at this link, we will have the guys' game between Rutgers Prep and Gill St. Bernard's. That one's coming up following warm-ups. And I have a little pregame show as well. So stick with us, and we'll have that guys' game for you. Again, the final score in the girls' game, 56-46, Rutgers Prep over GSB.
Next is Emily Wayne. Emily has been at GSP since 8th grade. She is looking to attend Ithaca in the fall, and this is her first year cheerleading. Next is Katie Williams. Katie has been at GSP for 2 years, and all of them she's been cheerleading. Katie also plays lacrosse for the Knights and wants to attend college for fashion design. Next is the girls basketball seniors, coached by Erin Gratch. First is Samantha Kramer. Sam is a 4-year varsity starter, now committed to Fairfield. She had a huge role in 2 county titles and is a major contributor to the team's success in the past 4 years. She is a great leader and works as hard as anyone. Always been a creative passer, strong leader, and a well-rounded athlete and even better person. Next is Maddie Gallick. Maddie, also a captain and a 3-year varsity member. She has shown tremendous work ethic and a great attitude. She also shows she will do whatever the team asks of her and is a key component to this team's success over the past 3 years. A terrific defender and rebounder, a true hard-nosed player. Maddie will be playing college basketball at Haverford College. Next is Kennedy Whitehead. Kennedy, a 4-year varsity member, one of the best attitudes you will ever find. helped the team to 2 county titles and many, many wins. Also a competitive rebounder with a good shooting touch. She has battled injuries throughout her career, but always kept a positive outlook with great character. Next is Lauren McBride. Lauren, a 2-year varsity starter, great worker and one of the strongest players. Lauren achieved the 1,000-point milestone within her career, which is not easy to do. She has been a huge part of the success of the program, and she will continue to play a huge role in the season moving forward. Next is boys basketball, coached by Morgan Sina. First for the boys, Adam Matola. Adam, the 4-year letterman and senior captain. Adam has stepped up and taken the leadership of this year's team, leading the team in almost every statistical category. He's the player the team relies on when they need to get going. Adam will be going to GW as he anticipates he will continue his basketball career. Next is Connor Kamentovich. Connor has proven to be a great addition to our program. Plays 3 positions for the night and has been a big part of this year's success. He does everything the coach asks of him and has a great attitude. Connor has been a crucial member to this year's Knights team. Next is Julius Stoma. Julius has improved every year since he's arrived here his sophomore season. His physical presence on the court is his best attribute. Another hard-nosed player, and he plays every possession like it's his last. And lastly, Andrew Knoll. Andrew has been great this year, especially since his first opportunity to play on the varsity team. Andrew's another great teammate and always brings energy in practice and in the games. Ladies and gentlemen, your senior class.
welcome you back to Aresti Pavilion on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's for game number 2 of our doubleheader as the Knights of Gill St. Bernard's take on the Argonauts of Rutgers Prep, 11-2 against 8-5. Actually, that's 9-5 now, as Rutgers Prep did play very recently. Simon Rose back with you here on the Strive Network as we get you set for the second game of our doubleheader. First game going to Rutgers Prep, as the Lady Argonauts, the number 2 team in the state, defeating the number 3 team in the state in the Gill St. Bernard's Knights. Of course, without Alexia Alesh. But anyway, the guys, 11-2, 9-5, good matchup here. Both playing in the Skyland Raritan Conference. We're going to take a look at those standings here. Skyland Delaware Conference, that is. Gill St. Bernard's 5-0, 11-2 coming in. Ridge 3-2 behind them, Franklin 3-2 behind them, and then Rutgers Prep as well at 3-2. But this could essentially clinch the standings. The first place finish for Gill St. Bernard's coming away with a win here. They did play each other back on January 7th. That was a 69-58 win for Gill St. Bernard's in Rutgers, or in New Brunswick at Rutgers Prep. But they'll match up here today. Gill St. Bernard's getting a few guys back. We'll talk plenty more about them. Julia Stoma among them. But anyway, let's take a look at our coach's corner, featuring Morgan Cena, who's in his 5th season, who had a nice playing career for Seton Hall and Rhode Island and professionally, holding the single game record in Portugal for scoring. He scored 69 points in a game. That guy right there. Born in Italy, did his undergrad at Seton Hall, and he played at Rhode Island as well. Actually went to the Sweet 16 with Rhode Island in 1988. His son, Jaron Cena, a former stud here at the Gill St. Bernard's level, sitting out a year at GW after a transition. He's a 2,000-point scorer. But anyway, that's our coach's corner with Morgan Cena. And right on cue, we've got another coach joining us. It's Aaron Gratch. Aaron, we thank you for joining us here. First off, we've got the guys' game coming up, but, you know, let's just go back about the girls' game. That was a tough matchup. You guys seemed to hold your own without Alexia Alesh. How did you feel you played?
I mean, I felt like we came out and we really gave it all that we had. I told the girls at the end of the game, keep your heads high, because I felt like we did everything we could control today. You know, whether with our effort, the attitude, everything they did, I felt like they left everything on the floor. You know, sometimes, you know, like we had a couple plays where we're hustling, trying to save it, and it goes right to them. They make a shot. And, you know, some of those things you just can't control. But I really felt like they gave everything we had, and we had our opportunities. If we don't have that little stretch there at the end of the third quarter with like 3 straight turnovers, and if we don't give up some of these late, we're right there with them. I mean, so I felt like they really came along, you know, and everybody really came together, especially on the glass, to try to make up for Lex not being there.
Yeah, just going to say, since Alexia wasn't there, I was very impressed with the way that you guys did play on the glass. And I would say throughout, that was a pretty competitive game.
Yes.
So congratulations on the performance, I guess. But obviously, you guys did go down to Rutgers Prep. Maybe you'll get them again later in the season. But turning our attention to this guys' game at hand, Gill St. Bernard's 12-2. Let's take a look at our Strive Spotlight. We'll look at Adam Matola. We're going to take a look at Adam Matola. Have you seen Adam play?
Oh, many times.
Yeah. What impresses you about him as a player?
He's a great kid, and especially this year being a senior, his leadership leading into this year has been the best thing that I've seen on the court. And then this game against Roselle Catholic just a couple weeks ago, I felt like he might have been the best kid on the court when they only lost by 4 to Roselle Catholic.
And it's kind of his turn, so to speak, right? He's kind of had to play behind Tyus Battle. He played again behind John Michael May, but now, you know, it's kind of his turn and taking on that leadership role for head coach Morgan Cena. Anyways, you see them, they're turning towards the flag, everyone in the gym, so we're going to take a step aside when we come back. More basketball, Gill St. Bernard's and Rutgers Prep right after this. Back we come here to Oresti Pavilion. Gill St. Bernard's and Rutgers Prep doing battle in game number 2 of our doubleheader. They announced the starters here to the crowd, so we're going to do the same. We'll start with the visitors in Rutgers Prep. And their starting lineup is as follows: Greg Smith, Miles Johnson, Jake Needleman, who Coach Alex Mahoney said has been their most consistent player all season long. Zachary Brown and CJ Howell under head coach Alex Mahoney. On the other side for the GSB boys, and Morgan Cena as the head coach. Jake Betlow, the phenomenal freshman, Adam Matola, Connor Klemenowicz, Julia Stoma, and Andrew Knoll here on senior night on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's. Take a look at the recent rivalry between Gill St. Bernard's and Rutgers Prep. Some of the recent matchups. The Knights have won 3 of the past 4, including their January 7th meeting, 69-58. And they beat them pretty handily last year as well in 2015 on February 23rd. 58-34, but in that same season, just 4 weeks before, Rutgers Prep got the best of GSB 64-61. So they actually played 3 times last season, including postseason play. Here today we see GSB getting introduced. Morgan Cena in his 5th year coaching. They're 12-2. They're 5-0 in the Skyland Delaware Conference. They're number 8 in the NJ.com top 20 poll, as Adam Matola, the last starter to get announced to the crowd. A few additions to the lineups for GSB. They're going to get Michael Moriali back here today. Their junior, who's 6'4". He's coming back from a shoulder injury. He's only played in 5 games, but they're excited to have him back in uniform. He will help their front court, as well as Julia Stoma, who will also help their front court. So they get a 6'4" guy in Moriali. They get a 6'5" guy in Julia Stoma back in the lineup, who will be a part of the starting lineup for head coach Morgan Cena. All the seniors on the floor, but those 2 guys that I just mentioned, they're going to have to get the rust off. That's going to be their key number 1 for Stoma and Moriali in terms of getting back in the swing of things. It's going to be Stoma to tip it up with Zachary Brown of Rutgers Prep. And we're ready to rock. Again, a win to Rutgers Prep. Again in their all-black jerseys. The Knights coming out in a zone of sorts. This 3 no good from left wing of Rutgers Prep. I think it was Jake Needleman. All the way in goes Adam Matola. The Knights like to run fast, and they turn transition into 2 free throws coming for Adam Matola, the 6'2" senior guard. Coach Cena said that this kid could be a Player of the Year candidate. He leads the Knights in almost every statistical category, fills up the stat sheet, does number 5 as he misses the first. 14.5 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, 3 assists per game. He does it all. And he's got the first point of the game. Simon Rose here with you, Lance Glynn producing, and Tom Posse directing. Rutgers Prep working in the half court now. This is Miles Johnson back to Greg Smith and Jake Needleman. And it looks like a 3-2 zone here for GSB, and that zone wreaking havoc. Again, the Knights running fast, and an easy bucket for Alex Shackney. Shackney, another young stud for the Knights, the 5'11" sophomore. And it's a good start for the Knights, 3-0. Baseline jump shot will not roll in for Rutgers Prep, but a good rebound underneath as Miles Johnson tracks it down, and now Jake Needleman will reset, but it's Adam Matola with the steal, and they've got numbers. An easy finish for Shackney, courtesy of Matola, and it's a quick 5-0 lead for Rutgers Prep. They put up points in bunches. Adam Knoll and Connor Klemenowicz guarding at the top of the zone, as well as Alex Shackney. At the bottom of the 3-2, Julius Stoma and Adam Matola. Matola trying to trap in the corner, and they force another turnover. Substitutions now. The freshman phenoms enter the game for GSB. Paul Mulcahy and Jake Betlow. Betlow among the team leaders in scoring, 13 points per game. This is Matola on right wing. And Shackney picking up his dribble and finding Jake Betlow. A kid who's in the gym 7 days a week working on his craft. Mulcahy with a quick move, finding Betlow, and now Shackney for three. It's short. The rebound to Needleman behind the D, and a foul is called. That was C.J. Howell. We get another look here as C.J. Howell was fouled. And he's got 2 free throws. Howell makes the first. Rutgers Prep coached by Alex Mahoney in his second year. He succeeded Tim Ortelli. 2 buckets for Howell. Betlow's open for 3. No hesitation for him. Did miss. Shackney is there to secure the rebound. That's his kind of rebound, those scrappy loose balls, as Matola lines it up, no good. Howell pulled home the board, and Needleman will bring up for the Argonauts. Down 5-2, under 5 to go here in the first quarter. Greg Smith, short. Matola the rebound. Eyes immediately up court, hitting Shackney in stride. And now Mulcahy. Paul Mulcahy crossing up. Tough move. Good defense by Howell. Got the rebound and then lost it out of bounds, and it was last touched by a Knight and Alex Shackney. Full court pressure. Jake Betlow guarding the ball handler. It's Greg Smith. Smith finding Needleman. Back to Smith, guarded by Betlow. Now feeding the high post. Howell looking for Needleman. Slips it to Smith, who will enter the lane and draw the foul. There's going to be 2 free throws coming. It's going to be against Paul Mulcahy. Take one more look here. As Mulcahy didn't like the call, but certainly some contact there below the waist. First free throw missed by Smith. Averaging 11 points per game. Nothing doing there. As Betlow paces and gives to Matola, who will drive baseline. Matola stayed with it, slipped it to Shackney. A cutting Klemenowicz couldn't get it to go. And Daniel Shantz, the senior, able to hold off his defender. They're asking for a kick ball, and rightly so, but instead it's Betlow counted on the foul. On the other end, Jake Betlow for 2, and one more coming at the line. A phenomenal freshman puts it in transition. It's kind of labeled as a shooter by a lot of people. But he works hard at his game. And case in point there on that most recent play as he converts the three-point play. Bright future ahead for number 1. Gonna be a foul here against Mulcahy. That's gonna be his second. So he picks up 2 quick fouls, does Mulcahy, after entering the game as a substitute. His 4 assists per game actually lead the team. And Julius Stoma back into the game. Remember, Julius Stoma has only played in 5 or 6 games this year after being injured. Score is 8-2, 3:32 to go in the first quarter. As Rutgers Prep tries to bring in bounds, the Knights keep up the pressure. Needleman with some space. And a cutting man cannot get it to go in Miles Johnson. So Matola will pull up off the screen from Klemenowicz. Out of nowhere comes Klemenowicz. And he was out of bounds after trying to secure the rebound. Rutgers Prep still looking for their first field goal. It's been all GSB here. Just under 5 minutes into the game. Another turnover against the Argonauts. Jonah Charles who put it on the floor. The freshman guarding here on the near side. That's Shackney. For Betlow. Do not count the bucket if it went in. It didn't. But the foul is going to be called against GSB offensively. GSB coming off a year where they were Somerset County champions. They lost in the first round of the non-public B to Holy Spirit. New man into the game for the Knights is Evan Storch, the junior at 5'10". Another steal by the Knights. Matola cherry picking. And in the air, changes the angle of his body to get the 2. First field goal for Matola. He's got 3 on the game. And it's an 8-point lead for GSB. Quickly the other way. This is Charles with the first field goal for Rutgers Prep. Good-looking freshman is Jonah Charles. Betlow thinking about the 3, and once again there is a whistle before the shot. And it is against Rutgers Prep. It's against Antonio Gamboa. So 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Shackney, with a nasty crossover, gives to Jake Betlow now. Matola looking to have his way, a beautiful spin move, and he spins it into the cup. 5 for Adam. He scored the last 4 for GSB. Here's a 3 ball, that's no good from the Argonauts. Daniel Shantz couldn't get it to go, and GSB makes them pay. And the timeout is called by Alex Mahoney and Rutgers Prep. That was Connor Klemenowicz running the floor for the Knights, the 6'3" senior, putting it in. And since Connor Klemenowicz just put that bucket in, and we've got a timeout on the floor, we're going to spotlight Connor Klemenowicz. We're going to spotlight all of our seniors here tonight for Gill St. Bernard, 6'3" senior, averaging 4 points per game, 2 assists, 2.5 rebounds, but he's one of those kids that kind of does the things that don't always show up on the stat sheet. And number 22 for GSB, a 6'3" senior, a part of our Strive Spotlight segment here this evening. So 1:26 to go, 14-4 the score. Those GSB Knights leading the Rutgers Prep Argonauts. Simon Rose here with you. 5 team fouls for GSB, 3 team fouls against Rutgers Prep. One thing that GSB has had to deal with this year is the fact that they're very young. However, Mergensina has been so impressed with the way that these kids have really overcome that youth. They play extremely confident. Even the freshmen on the floor play like seniors. Needleman is denied by Klemenowicz. How about Klemenowicz showing his prowess offensively with a deuce right before the timeout, and coming out of the timeout, his defensive prowess with a nice big block. The Rutgers Prep ball here. As Klemenowicz comes away with it, this is Jake Betlow finding Matola in rhythm for 3. Eight on the game now for Adam Matola. He's having a heck of a first quarter, and so is Connor Klemenowicz, who comes away with a steal. Betlow got 2 men in the air and then drilled the mid-range jumper. Boy, GSB clicking on all cylinders here. 5 for Betlow after entering the game as a sub. 15-point lead for GSB. Turnover against Rutgers Prep. Needleman could not handle, out of bounds. Jake Needleman has not scored in this game. He's their most consistent player. He's their best scorer here for the Argonauts. 14 points per game, but left off the board. In fact, most Rutgers Prep Argonauts have been left off the board. Stifling defense by GSB, only allowing 4 points to the Argonauts in the first. Shackney looking to add offensively, couldn't get the roll. Loose ball picked up by Matola, got it up in time, but it was no good. But an impressive first quarter by the Gill St. Bernard's Knights. They lead 19-4 after 8 minutes of play. We go to the second quarter with GSB up by 15. Start of the second quarter here at Aresti Pavilion on the campus of Gill St. Bernard's. 19-4 the score. What a performance by GSB in that first 8 minutes. 8 points for Adam Matola. That leads the squad. Jake Betlow coming off the bench for 5. And none of them coming via the 3 ball. Alex Shackney with 4 and Connor Klemenowicz with the other 2. The Knights will start with their half-court offense. TJ Cheney into the game for GSB for the first time. Here is Cheney with the ball. 5'10" sophomore guard. Gives to his senior teammate and Adam Matola, the leader of the team. Picks up his dribble and looks for the freshman, Jake Betlow. Paul Mulcahy with the ball now. He's got 2 fouls. Klemenowicz probing and then throwing it away. Greg Smith. In the corner, it's Charles. And they tried to get it to Smith, but it was tipped out by Jake Betlow. Back in comes Julius Stoma. Connor Klemenowicz after a good effort. Will take a seat. Mid-range jump shot no good from Daniel Shantz. The score remains the same as it did at the start of the quarter. 19-4, a GSB lead. Offensive foul against GSB. I believe it may have been against Julius Stoma. And it was, as he goes to get the explanation from the referee. And what he heard from the referee was good. He nodded his head in approval. Again, Stoma and Mike Moriali, who I guess we haven't really seen in this game. Perhaps Moriali not back as we expected. Still nursing injuries. But anyway, Stoma kind of getting his legs under him here in the first time that he's played in a while. Stoma posting up, and he's going to draw the foul on the floor against Shantz. Good work by the 6'5" forward to make things tough for the defender. Third team foul against Rutgers Prep. GSB has committed 6. So the next one they commit will warrant free throws, or at least a 1-and-1. ISO with Matola. Now gives to Mulcahy. Betlow off the screen from Mulcahy will leave it short for 3. Shantz tracks it down for the board. And Needleman up ahead. Mulcahy doing enough to force the steal. It's Cheney all the way to the hole, and he kisses it off the glass. TJ Cheney's first 2. And GSB, their first 2 of the second quarter, leading by a healthy 17 points. Shantz wants a 3. That's his 3rd or 4th attempt, but no results. Mulcahy gliding across half court. And Betlow. Back to Paul Mulcahy. And he'll rattle in the 3. No, it's a 2. He had a foot on the line. Paul Mulcahy with 2 points. He averages 7.3 points per game as another jump shot no good. Another quick possession for Rutgers Prep. 1 and done as GSB gets the board. And trapped was TJ Cheney. He calls timeout. We just saw Paul Mulcahy score. He's an all-purpose player. A freshman who's a guard at 6'4". He's listed as a guard, but he could play at positions 1 through 4. I think Coach Cena said that he doesn't even realize how good of a player he is and has the potential to be. As just a freshman, he's got plenty of size to grow. You saw him number 4 on the screen right there, coming back into the game. Obviously going to get bigger physically as time wears on. A lot of good young talent. The future bright for GSB as the great program history continues to make history each and every time they take the floor. Morgan Cena in his 5th year continuing to do a great job. Here's Mulcahy out of the timeout. The defense by Charles, also a freshman for Rutgers Prep. This is Shackney, the sophomore. And they're going to call a traveling violation against Julius Stoma. Adam Matola, a quick seat on the bench. He's going to come back in, relieve Julius Stoma. Charles for three, a little hitch in his release. Mulcahy and Betlow. No good. Rebound by Shackney. He draws the foul. Alex Shackney, a guy that you love to have on your team. He's not going to wow you with flash offensively, but he'll wow you with the grit and intensity that he gives on loose balls. He's the kind of kid defensively that teams hate to play against. He's got the ball here, number 15. Mergensina said that he's such a playmaker for others, and he finds ways to get his team up and going. So does Paul Mulcahy, who flips it up over the rim after the rebound. 4 points for Mulcahy. And it is all GSB here, up by 21. Needleman looking for his first two, and he's got it. A free throw jump shot for Jake Needleman. Makes it 25-6. It's just the second field goal for Rutgers Prep. Matola giving to Mulcahy, trying to spin off his man. They swing it around Jake Betlow, and no resets. Some applause in the crowd from the Rutgers Prep faithful as they do a good job on that most recent attempt by GSB. But patient are the Knights, and Jake Betlow picks his spot. 7 points on the game for Jake Betlow, 27 for GSB as a team. Foul on the floor here against Adam Matola. And Nishan Battle drawing the foul for Alex Mahoney. A lot of young guys get time here for this Rutgers Prep team. Jonah Charles, a freshman. And Nishan Battle, also a freshman, have gotten significant minutes. One and one is, well, the first part of the 1-and-1 is good for Nishan Battle. One of two. 20-point lead for GSB with 2.5 to go here in the second quarter. Shackney running the point, finding Matola. Bring it back out to Julius Stoma. And now Shackney again, guarded by Needleman. Matola got it back after his shot was deflected. How about Stoma with great position, and he drew the foul. It's the 5th against Rutgers Prep. GSB will take it out under the basket. Again, back in there is Evan Storch for the Knights. He's the one doing the duties, throwing it in, getting it into Matola. Stoma in the post. Good job by number 55, Julius Stoma. First 2 points of the game for Stoma. So excited to have him back in the lineup. It's always great to have somebody who's 6'5" back in, as that three ball is good. Miles Johnson for three. And finally, Rutgers Prep in double digits. Another foul on the floor against Rutgers Prep, and I think we're going to have a 1-and-1 here for GSB, as that was the 7th team foul against the Argonauts. So to the line goes Stoma. A guy that Coach Cena said has got to be the bruiser for this Knights team on the inside. Now, GSB has had a successful season, but the one thing that they've been missing when Stoma's been out is that kind of bruising presence, that front court presence, and he's going to be that. It's going to be important as they move forward, going into the tournaments. Four points now for Stoma, all coming in the last minute or so. As the Knights able to force a turnover. Matola and Shackney wreaking havoc in the backcourt. The jump ball, so Rutgers Prep will retain. They had the possession arrow. Three ball here is no good from Nishan Battle. Shackney with a burst of steam. And Klemenowicz no good. Under a minute to go, as the Argonauts nearly throw it away, and they ultimately do. However, the Knights give it right back as Shackney could not tightrope the far sideline. .34 seconds to go here. It's 31-10. Impressive performance by GSB thus far, both offensively and defensively. Right on cue, another steal. It's Stoma, the big man, running the break, and that's going to be a traveling violation against Shackney, who shuffled his feet. Yeah, this Knights team, every time they get the ball, they are full speed ahead. They remain in their zone, do the Knights. It's provided some effective defense as Matola, oh, what a beautiful pass as he was falling out of bounds. He found Shackney in stride as time expires here in the first half. What a way to finish the first half. Matola with an acrobatic play, and he'll get the assist to Alex Shackney, who scores his 6th point of the game. 33-10, the score at halftime. Intermission time here as the boys head to the locker room. We'll leave you with a performance by the cheerleaders here. Start of the third quarter here at Gill St. Bernard's at Aresti Pavilion. Simon Rose back with you. A really impressive performance by GSB by a number of different players. Jake Betlow with 7, TJ Cheney with 2, Mulcahy with 4, Adam Matola with 8, and Alex Shackney with 6. Julius Stoma added 4 as well. This is Shackney missing. (33-10) the score. Make that 33-12, the 2-point bucket good. By number 10, Jonah Charles, and a quick 20-second timeout taken here. And since we're doing that, let's go and do a spotlight. Let's take a look at Julius Stoma, another senior, part of our Strive Senior Spotlight Series. 5.8 points per game, a half of an assist per game, 0.7 steals, 2.5 rebounds. Keeping in mind that these numbers a little bit jaded with Stoma not playing in the majority of games in GSB's season. So we've taken a look at a few of our seniors, and we'll look at the remaining 1 or 2 during some stoppages in play. Matola gives to Jake Betlow. The freshman gives to his fellow freshman in Paul Mulcahy. Now it's Matola, the senior, having his way in the post. 10 points now for Matola. Betlow guarding Needleman. Quick ball movement by Rutgers Prep. But they're unable to get a shot up there before GSB knocks it out of bounds. This defense of the Knights. It's been a kind of a mixture of defenses that Coach Cena has put out. Between a 2-3 zone, we've seen a 3-2 zone. I believe we've seen some man-to-man as well, but it's been mostly this zone that has given Rutgers Prep a lot of trouble, as their mere 12 points in the game to this point would indicate. Matola picking a pocket. Adam Matola all the way to the hole, and he's able to finish in traffic. Matola for another 2, and he's got a dozen on the game. And then the Argonauts throw it away. So a 25-point lead for the hometown GSB Knights. Foul on the floor committed against Rutgers Prep. As Klemenowicz throws inbounds. It's Matola, with a great feed. Mulcahy had no space to put that one up and in, but he was fouled and will head to the line for 2. Paul Mulcahy off the feed from Matola. It's one of those instances where you don't give the assist to Matola because the basket wasn't converted, but if any points come out of it, you may as well. Beautiful pass there, but Mulcahy misses the first free throw. Five points now for Mr. Mulcahy. Greg Smith turns it over. Klemenowicz up ahead. It's Matola. Misses. There is Shackney to clean it up. 8 now for Alex Shackney. And a 28-point lead for his GSB Knights. Jake Needleman has been held in check in this game. This three, no good. Matola the rebound, looking to run. Gives it back, or gets it back from Shackney. Betlow, quick trigger on the three. He hit the deck as he released. No call. And he was short on the three. Needleman now. And Smith back to Needleman for three, no good. Smith the rebound, and now Chance for Rutgers Prep. Another steal. Matola once again, he's been all over the place. The senior captain for GSB, and then Betlow throws it away. So helter-skelter for a few possessions here, and finally Rutgers Prep will slow it down. 3 minutes into the third quarter. Chance guarded by Betlow. Now they give it back to Jake Needleman. He's guarded by the pesky Alex Shackney. The GSB version of Aaron Kraft. Shackney now guarding Smith. Chance for the right wing, Needleman. Open in the post is Charles. He cannot finish. Betlow the rebound. Shackney for Mulcahy. Such quick ball movement, it leads to an open Matola three, and he drills it, and a timeout call. You're here in the student section here at GSB. They're here making some noise and giving credit to an impressive performance for GSB. Let's take a look at another Strive spotlight. Let's look at Andrew Knoll. Started the game here for GSB. 5'9" senior will be heading to Syracuse next year, my alma mater. Lucky him, he gets to start his 4 years with the Orange. Not playing, but attending. Another Strive spotlight, Adam Knoll. So we've seen them all. All 4 seniors have been spotlighted here on senior night from GSB. Remember, the first game of the doubleheader was what you could say the marquee matchup of this doubleheader. A top 5 matchup in New Jersey between the ladies of GSB and the ladies of Rutgers Prep. And Rutgers Prep came away with the win. That three good. Jake Needleman, his first 3 ball of the game. He's got 5 now. Mulcahy off the isolation, has his way. Greg Smith, Charles, Needleman, and Chance for 3. Now Betlow. Oh, what a beautiful pass, but Mulcahy was blocked. Well done there by Nashawn Battle all the way to the other side. It's still Battle who's fouled. And Nashawn will head to the free throw line. We take one more look. Good defensive play. He turns it into an effective offensive play, drawing the foul. No good on the first for Nashawn Battle. A break for Alex Shackney. And in steps TJ Cheney. One of 2 for Battle. 3:09 to go in the third. Rutgers Prep applying a little bit of pressure. Matola finding Stoma, recently checked into the game. Could not finish in the paint. So here's Needleman for Battle. Beautifully done. Nishan Battle, his first field goal. He's got 3. Matola finding TJ Cheney. What strength to find him as he was falling out of bounds. And GSB with a long offensive rebound. Here's Matola at the top. Wants the mid-range jumper. It's short. And the foul's going to be against Julius Stoma on the loose ball. Second team foul against GSB. Quick break for Alex Shackney as he comes back in. Julius Stoma will take a seat, and so will Adam Matola. And for him comes Evan Storch. Commanding 27-point lead for GSB. Greg Smith steps into the jump shot. Jake Betlow skies for the rebound. Shackney thought better of entering the paint. And Betlow with a deep 3, it wouldn't go, but the long rebound of TJ Cheney, the sophomore now. Guarded by Greg Smith. Slips it to Mulcahy, who also slips it to Storch. This is Shackney off the pump fake for Cheney. Great ball movement and patience for the Knights. TJ Cheney got a good shot up, but it wouldn't go for him. 1:30 to go in the third. Here's Greg Smith. Screen at the top. Needleman for 3. Long. Skying for the board was Battle. Well done. Charles for 3 on the other side, and this one rattles through. Jonah Charles has 5, and Rutgers Prep has 11 in the third quarter. That's almost the entire total that they scored in the first 2 quarters. As a whistle stops play here, it's a foul on the floor. Jason Owe checks in for Rutgers Prep. And Jake Needleman also takes a seat. Relieving him is number 24, Lyle Zulo. Mulcahy tight-roping the baseline, finding Storch, who is open for a baseline 3. The rebound to Battle here. And Nishan Battle again running coast to coast, could not finish. Betlow now. And Shackney guarded by Shantz. Mulcahy kicks out to TJ Cheney. Good cut into the lane, and TJ Cheney for a deuce. He's got 4 off the bench. The sophomore guard. Under 20 seconds to go. Long 3 here for Zulo. Betlow another rebound. He's been piling up the rebound totals. Almost got an assist. Shackney, though, couldn't handle. Did well to retain possession. Shackney looking for someone to get it in play to, and he finds Cheney. Storch. As the buzzer sounds, 47-21, it's a commanding 26-point lead for the hometown Knights. They're looking good as they head to the final frame, and we'll be right back here on the Strive Network. Start of the fourth quarter here. 26-point lead for GSB. This is Shantz, no good. Jake Betlow for Shackney. Mulcahy counted and the foul. So impressive is Paul Mulcahy. What a bright future ahead for the 6'4" freshman. Great ball movement by GSB. That's been the story all night long. And he converts. Mulcahy has 10 in the game. The Knights lead by 29. Leaning in was CJ Howell. It wouldn't go. Here's Mulcahy running the break now. We said that he can play any position on the floor. As Betlow wanted the three, not letting him take it was Jonah Charles. This is Shackney crossing up. And Matola back into the game. Connor Klemenowicz gives to Matola. Pulls up from the foul line, left it short. The rebound to Zachary Brown. And this is Jason Owe, the junior. Brown for two. First two for Zach Brown. And Matola will slow the pace just a bit here. What a pass there. Shackney to Klemenowicz. I wish I had assist totals in this game because GSB has been piling them up. That one from Shackney. Klemenowicz now with 4. Three ball here from Charles, no good. It's Matola looking up floor. Nothing was there, so he'll bring it up. Betlow for 3. High rebound brought down by Nashawn Battle. Klemenowicz able to win the battle, though. Long pass from Shackney over to Klemenowicz. Swings it to Jake Betlow. Betlow hands to Matola. No good. Klemenowicz working very hard. Heck of a game by Connor Klemenowicz on senior night. What an effort. As this is Battle going all the way in, it wouldn't go. The follow is good by Brown. The reason you just heard a huge cheer from the faithful here at GSB is because a guy is set to check in, and Andrew Knoll. Apparently a fan favorite. They've got Andrew Knoll cut out heads that they're waving through the crowd. And this whistle will have Andrew come into the game. You'll hear the crowd chant again when Andrew comes into the game. Number 32. It's 54-25 as Mulcahy brings in. And Jake Betlow runs the show. Knoll finds it. Matola gets it back from Mulcahy. It's Knoll. He left it short. The entire crowd anticipating Knoll hitting that bucket. Oh, I can't wait till he hits one. Brown finishes in the paint. 54-27. The Knights doubling up Rutgers Prep right now. 4:14 and counting to go. Timeout call. GSB playing some really strong hoops right now, obviously tonight, but the past few games as well. We look at their schedule. They beat Phillipsburg the last time out, 83-51. And after this, they'll play Franklin, they'll visit Bridgewater Raritan, they'll play Seton Hall Prep, and they'll play Hunterdon Central. So a few road games to come as GSB continues its regular season campaign in anticipation of the playoffs to come in the non-public B, the Prep B, and in the Somerset County Tournament. Much of the starters have been pulled. So TJ Cheney misses. This is Storch who got the rebound, and he finds Cheney. Daniel Wang, a sophomore guard, into the game for GSB, as well as Scott Pregame. Andrew Knoll being egged on by the crowd to shoot, but shooting and making was Evan Storch. Storch running the break, Wang to no, oh, he missed! Oh. Well, everybody thought that was the moment, but it didn't end up being the moment. The moment still to come. Brown for two. It's fun here at GSB, a nice night of hoops. Good way to finish for the Knights after the ladies went down to Rutgers Prep. As Wang with a strong move, he misses. Needleman wants the three. The long rebound to Daniel Wang. TJ Cheney is fouled. 2:29 to go here. The score 57-29. GSB has locked up another win. They'll improve to 13-2 on the season and 6-0 in the Skyland Delaware Conference. Knoll for three, left it short. TJ Cheney with a good defensive play. Nashawn Battle, though, good persistence. And he's able to get two. No, this time he drills it. And the crowd goes wild. Let the crowd tell the story there, chanting Andrew Knoll's name. Under a minute and a half to go as fouling in the act of shooting was Daniel Wang, so 3 shots are coming for number 24, Lyle Zulo. One more to come for Zulo. 1 of 2 to this point. And Andrew Knoll got the rebound, and he was fouled. So this is going to be his walk of fame here as we walk all the way to the other side. Andrew Knoll will shoot free throws, or he'll have it a 1-and-1 at least. 17th foul against Rutgers Prep. Nashawn Battle pulling up, and TJ Chaney the rebound. The Knights gonna wind the last minute and change off the clock, come away with another victory. A very impressive performance here. It started hot for GSB, and they maintained their momentum all the way through. Even the reserves coming in and doing a nice job. This three no good. Scott Pregame could not get it to go from the corner. Lyle Zulo wants a three. Rebound by Battle. Chuck another three up, it's no good for Rutgers Prep. Knoll lofting it up. And TJ Chaney able to bail him out with a steal. Daniel Wang ahead of the pack. And with 15 seconds to go, it's all but over. GSB will play keep away for the last 10. (60-32) the final as GSB is victorious here. They're going to improve to 13-2 on the season. Rutgers Prep dropping to 9-6. We take a step aside. When we come back, we're going to catch up with our player of the game here on the Stride Network. (60-32) final, a win for GSB at home over Rutgers Prep. Here with Adam Matola. Adam, congratulations on the win. You guys seem to come out there and execute well. What did you see out there on the floor?
We just played together. We've been doing this all year. Had a long break because of the snow. Got back out, and it's just nice. Have a nice, easy win.
Now, Adam, you've been playing GSB hoops for quite a while, but you played behind some big-time names, some big-time players over your career. This year, you're kind of the leader, right? You're the guy that kind of has to rally the troops when things are going wrong. Talk a little bit about that leadership role that you've had to take this year.
Yeah, I mean, being behind point guards like JM last year, Tyus and Jaron, it just taught me leadership, and Coach told me this year coming in I was the leader. I just got to lead by example, be vocal on the court, and we'll win games.
You just mentioned some of those guys that are no longer in GSB uniform, but you've restocked, you've refueled, you've got two phenomenal freshmen who made a phenomenal impact here in this game. Talk a little bit about those freshmen on the floor.
Yeah, they're great. They're very mature for their age, and they know how to play together with the team and look for open guys. They're going to have a bright future.
What's going to stop this GSB team, if there's anything that's going to stop them?
Anything, we're just going to stop ourselves, if anything. But otherwise, we'll be good. State tournament.
All right, Adam, congratulations on the win, and we'll be right back here on the Strive Network. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
So the final 60-32, GSB over Rutgers Prep in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1 of our doubleheader going to Rutgers Prep, improving to 16-0 on their season. But what a night of hoops it was. A huge thanks to Tim Davis and everyone at the GSB athletic department. Lance Glynn, our producer, our director, Tom Posse. My name's Simon Rose. We'll see you next time here on the Strive Network. Farewell.